Chippewas will have many new faces come fall, but perhaps the most notable addition to the roster is graduate transfer quarterback Shane Morris. CMU took on rival Western Michigan in Kalamazoo. They lost 3-0 in straight sets. Kathia Sanchez led the CMU offense with 10 kills, and Megan Kern finished with 9 digs. So it's been really a record-breaking year for the team, and the person who stands out the most is, like you said earlier, Lexi Palafis. So can you speak to her a little bit? She's only a sophomore, and how she's just been a powerhouse for this team. But thankfully, the women's volleyball team fired up for their next game as they defeated Eastern Michigan, claiming their second straight MAC victory at McGurk Arena. Referring to you retiring as an end of an era, how do you feel about that? You've had a pretty decent season so far, and now that it's end of May and starting to wind down, what thoughts are going through your head now that it's really coming to an end? CMU took home the win against Ball State on homecoming Saturday the 8th. Coach Bonamigo said the win against the Cardinals was not pretty, but a win is a win. I mentioned the 3 years in a row, so that means this year's seniors have never not made the playoffs. So how big of a motivating factor is that for your players and even for you as the coach?
Well, that's
one game at a time, but who do you see as your biggest opponent coming up this year? It's been a while since our last episode, and plenty has happened, but don't you worry, we have it covered. Later on in the first, we see Braylon Raisin driving to the basket and getting the floater to go. Chips are up by double digits. In the next Chippewa possession, Raisin works his man and throws up a 3 from the corner. Moving ahead, CMU took on in-state rival Eastern Michigan. Chips came out with a bit of a turkey hangover. Cooper Rush drops back and throws it across the middle, but it's picked off early by Kyle Rockwall. He finds his way all the way to the end zone, and the Eagles take a touchdown lead, 14-7. The CMU D3 hockey team went on to take on Indiana University. Here we see Zach Carr getting off this rocket of a shot to give CMU the 1-0 lead in the opening minutes. Ithaca's championship game at Ford Field. Jake Smith has been on our top 5 plays more times than not, and here he is again, dancing around defenders and into the end zone. The 1-7 Arthur Hill Lumberjacks visited the 3-4 Mount Pleasant Oilers. Here's the opening drive. Quarterback Jerry Parr keeps it to himself, goes up the middle, and takes it all the way for a 30-yard score. The fans who turned out wouldn't be disappointed early as the Eskimos got off to a hot start. Already ahead 10-0, Logan Carroll takes the handoff up the middle and finds daylight after shedding off a few Panther defenders, taking this all the way for a 60-yard score to extend their lead 17-0. Dozens and dozens of people coming out to support the GVSU D3 hockey team on Saturday night in partnership with the Purple community of the Van Andel Institute. And now we're hearing from one of the seniors on the team who actually started this event that's now in its 3rd year.
Playing for a cause.
My grandpa actually passed away right before we started the event, about a year before we started the event. So I think everybody has a personal tie to it.
Georgetown Ice Arena in Jenison was packed full Saturday night for Grand Valley State University's Hockey Fights Cancer Game, a fundraiser with all the proceeds going towards cancer research.
I have a couple of buddies that played on Aquinas, and I saw that they did a Hockey Fights Cancer Game with the Van Andel Institute. So I just reached out to them, and it took off from there.
They partnered with the Purple community of the Van Andel Institute, a program that funds that fight against major diseases.
Purple Community is Van Andel Institute's grassroots fundraising and community awareness program that connects individuals, teams, businesses, and schools to the resources they need to join the fight against diseases such as Parkinson's and cancer.
Senior Alex Bjork was the one who came up with this idea 3 years ago, and since the idea has only grown.
So year one, we kind of just threw it together. It was like $1,500. Last year, we got $3,000. This year, we're already above $5,000. So when we started off, we kind of had the idea of fundraising through like T-shirt sales. And so year one, that was basically it was T-shirt sales, a little bit of donations on the game day. Next year, we bumped it up a little bit. We sold a little bit more gear, some beanies, stuff like that. And this year, what really caught on was online donations. Each player was able to go on and create a page on the cause that they were going to play for. So I think that's what really increased it this year.
This year, the players sported special purple jerseys, and each one picked a person they were playing for, whether it was someone who had lost their battle with cancer, were still fighting, or had conquered the disease.
So we teamed up with Addicts. They did a great job on the jerseys. They look absolutely awesome. So it is just GVSU. They are purple, and then they have names of loved ones that have been affected on the back.
The money raised goes directly to the fight against cancer, which fueled these young men in one of their final games of the season. And the Van Andel Institute is thankful for the donations given.
It builds connections, and we get to see like where the money is going to, who's it's helping, and forming that connection, and seeing what people's purple is, what their passion is, and why they want to fight against these diseases. So it's really cool to see all that passion right here in West Michigan.
Now, Alex tells me that he knows his teammates will continue to do this game even after he graduates in May, and he's so excited to see what they do with it. At last check, they have raised about $5,000, and that number is still rising. We'll be sure to keep you updated on the final donation numbers. In Jenison, Cassidy Cobb, Fox 17 News.